Ovulation is so much more than just for fertility. Now, most women become very aware of ovulation and what it is when you are actively trying to get pregnant. Before then, not so much, right? If you have PCOS, you may already know that you are not ovulating. You may have already been diagnosed with this kind of imbalance. So if you have PCOS and are trying to get pregnant, the hallmark challenge is that you're not ovulating. So it's going to be very difficult, right? Now, regardless, every woman should be ovulating for your overall health. So today I'm going to break down why ovulation is crucial to your hormonal health, your fertility health, and your overall health in general. I'm Susanna Poyes. I am where women go to restore hormonal flow so that you can get pregnant faster, naturally, and safely. Now, ovulation is a big deal, and anything that is preventing it should be sending major red flags that there's a lot going wrong. Ovulation is necessary to your health in general because it protects you. When you are ovulating, your hormones are balanced. Ovulation helps boost progesterone, and progesterone is necessary. It is your happy place. We want ample levels of progesterone because they are what makes us relaxed, happy, and pretty balanced. And when we have the opposite of that, especially the week before your period, when we have PMS week, it's because your levels of progesterone are crashing. And so we always want to have ovulation peak so that progesterone gets boosted. Progesterone also helps to carry a baby for implantation, so it's necessary that you ovulate. And having an ovulation helps to promote heart health and bone health and breast health because it complements the estrogen and progesterone ratio. That is what balanced hormones is, where it starts for women with balanced estrogen and progesterone. So if you're not ovulating, you're not having high levels of progesterone, so you're always kind of in this place of estrogen dominance, and that is an imbalance that over time causes other imbalances in general. So I mean, where do we go wrong if you are actively trying to get pregnant and you're not ovulating, or you know you have PCOS and you're definitely not ovulating? What's the first thing? Well, most of us sense something's wrong, so we go to the doctor, right? You go to the doctor, you go to your traditional physician or your OBGYN or eventually your fertility specialist. But this is where things get kind of tricky because Western medicine really doesn't believe that, not ovulating is not such a big deal, especially if you're not trying to get pregnant. And so the first line of treatment for them is usually, well, let's regulate your period. So how do they do that? With birth control pills. And most of you have already tried that, right? Were your periods really regular? No. Birth control pills, by definition, suppresses ovulation. That's how they work, so that you don't get pregnant. So if you are already not ovulating, then you go to the doctor and you get on birth control pills that suppress your ovulation even more. How is that a good line of treatment, right? So unfortunately, that's what it is, because we've been led to believe that hormone pills or birth control pills regulate the period, which is not what they do. You actually don't have a period and ovulation suppressed. So that really kind of sets back any holistic kind of balance, sets you back a long ways. And the other problem with birth control is that it's toxic. And if you are actively trying to get pregnant and you know you have PCOS, or you just know you're not ovulating for some reason, and you've gone to a fertility specialist, what's the treatment there? Usually Clomid or letrozole, right? Or fertility medications to stimulate those eggs and create that good quality egg. In my clinical experience, I've seen that most of the time when you bypass the underlying steps as to why you're not ovulating, and we use these fertility meds like Clomid and letrozole, especially with PCOS, you can get pregnant, but most of the time it ends up in miscarriage because you are forcing the body to do something it couldn't do before the hyperstimulation. So you're overtaxing, overstimulating the body, which was already weak and imbalanced in the first place, and eventually that egg quality is no good. And so overall with Western medicine, there is no treatment other than medication. And that medication leaves you with a third whammy, is that these medications are toxic. Now, you can choose to believe that or not, but these medications are toxic. They are chemicals combined with petrochemicals, gasoline and oil or tar, and plastics. That's what pharmaceuticals are. There's a component to them. If we didn't have plastics or oil, we wouldn't have pharmaceuticals. And so all of this, you are injecting it, you're taking it, you're taking them, you're having them in your body over long periods of time, and eventually the systems, especially the liver system, the detoxification systems, they get stagnant, and that's when you start to see the symptoms. When you have birth control pills, read the side effects. Blood clots, heart disease, increasing breast cancer and ovarian cancers, migraines, weight gains. Those are side effects over a long period of time that your liver is having a really hard time processing all of these toxins that are now injected in the body over a long period of time. So you see how these Western meds, regardless of if you're trying to get pregnant or trying to balance your hormones, really they're not addressing the root cause, which there's multiple root causes. It's not just because you're having, a bad liver day or you're just having imbalanced hormones. There's multiple stuff going on here. So what's really going on and what can you do, right? Because fortunately, natural solutions and natural treatments are very powerful. They're very, very powerful because we are getting into that nitty-gritty. We are really addressing what needs to be addressed, why you're not ovulating in the first place, why that connection between your brain and your uterus and your ovaries is flawed. What's that monkey wrench in there, right? We're not just trying to stimulate you with fake hormones and have you gain weight. And so one of the things that I work with my clients in my fertility programs is just this. We have to get a whole holistic treatment plan that's unique to you. With ovulation, first and foremost, if you don't have PCOS, one of the things that I've seen in over my 10 years of clinical experience is that if women just lose 10% of their body weight, if you are carrying more weight than you want over time, if you lose 10% of that, even 10 pounds to start, then ovulation kind of just starts on its own without other medical intervention. Okay? And so body weight is really important. That's why with PCOS, if you tend to hold a little bit more weight than you want to, decreasing a lot of that weight can help regulate your insulin, get you off metformin, and get you ovulating. And then, same as if you don't have it. But the other thing to really concentrate on is decreasing your toxic load. I've talked about how synthetic in Western medicine is pretty toxic overall. And so that should be last line of defense, emergency if you're in the hospital, or like you have cancer or an immunosuppressant condition. That's when it is that. But when we're talking about balancing hormones and helping you ovulate, we can do natural treatments that are very, very powerful to address it. So when you are taking these synthetics, either for regulating your period or fertility treatments, these are toxic. Over time, they accumulate in the liver gets stagnant, and other detoxification organs get stagnant. And so you have to spend a lot of time processing that. And when I talk about decreasing your toxic load and decreasing toxicity in your body, especially your liver, which holds on to this for decades, I'm not talking about a juice cleanse or even a 28-day fast or 28-day cleansing pack. Those will make things worse because you are going to kind of flush and move around toxins in the body that your other organs are not prepared to handle. So it just kind of gets recycled and mostly in the fat cells. So you have to train your body to detox every single day via your lifestyle and your diet. And when you do that, that's when the weight starts to slosh off. That's when you start to feel better, and that you know your liver and your other detox organs are working for you and starting to boost your fertility that way and help you ovulate. The more you can get your liver really happy and optimized every single day, not just during a cleanse or a flush, that's what's going to help you ovulate. That's what's going to help you break down the hormones that are kind of stuck and causing more stagnation and causing problems. And so the other natural thing that I work with my clients in my programs to help boost the fertility and help ovulate and help kind of resolve a lot of these PCOS symptoms is moxa. It's an ancient technique over 3,000 years old that was, Asia's first Tylenol for cramps. Moxa is an herb, an artemisia herb that we burn. It's like in a cigar. We burn it and we warm the uterus. We warm the reproductive areas. We even use it on pain areas to really bring fresh, new circulated, oxygenated blood to that area to release the blood vessels, to alleviate cramping and pain. And with fertility issues and ovulation, it's to consolidate the womb and really boost the adrenal glands so that you are nurturing and replenishing things that you are losing for your period, and just to kind of what I call consolidate the area. And that's a really critical component in giving your self-care and connection back to what you really need, regardless of if you're trying to get pregnant or not. Every woman needs to ovulate for your heart health, your bone health, your hormonal health. Everything is connected to ovulation. It's that cycle, that hormonal cycle that you were born with and that you have to really kind of nurture. And so every treatment is unique to you. So if you are not ovulating for any reason, most of the reasons are known PCOS. Other ones are obesity, and you don't have to have PCOS. And other ones are secondary or mysterious problems, but that doesn't mean that you need to rush to medication. The Western treatments can set you back, but having a natural plan, a natural solution, and really addressing the full body. Because when you have a hormonal problem, it doesn't mean that it's a hormonal problem, because there are steps to climb that your body goes through to create hormones in the first place. So all of that needs to get addressed, and just know that there are natural solutions. Make sure you're at a wonderful weight. If you need help with that, I help my clients do that every single day by knowing, to eat a whole alkalinized diet with whole foods that are starting to flush out toxins every day and boost your antioxidants and boost your nutrition. Make sure you are decreasing your toxic load, and that starts with becoming aware of what you're putting in and what you're putting on your body, right? And then you can understand that, there are other self-care treatments, but those may need to be unique for you. So if you are interested in ovulating again, balancing your hormones, and if you're trying to get pregnant, have PCOS, and this is one of the hallmark challenges for you, and you've been going through letrozole and Clomid, and that hasn't worked, and you've put on the pounds, and now you're depressed, and now you're thinking, well, maybe I should go to an IVF specialist and do IVF. That may not be the cure either. You have to make a decision as to where you want to end up in this journey. And just know that natural treatments are available to you. And if you are ready to cross that threshold and trust that process, it can work miracles for you. So if you're interested, go ahead and reach out and let me know, and I'll personally get back to you. And everyone, have a great day. And I hope this video has helped each and every one of you.